Guys, Nikki here. So today I wanted to take a brief moment to talk with you about holding space for somebody, because I feel like there's a lot of different terms in the spiritual community, and if you're a newcomer, if you're a little baby witch and you're trying to learn some things, you might not always really understand what people are talking about, especially if it's like a common term. You kind of think you know it, but you don't really, and you don't want to say anything because it's embarrassing. So holding space, what does that really mean? So if you're holding space for somebody, this is something I do a lot too, especially too with tarot readings. That means that you are kind of giving somebody a safe space to express themselves in whatever way they need to without any judgment, without any of your personal opinions coming in, without telling them a story that how you relate to exactly whatever it is that they're doing. You know, it's just giving them a space to say whatever they need to say without making them feel bad about it, without making them feel judged, you know? And I think that's a really special gift that you can give to somebody if you are that type of person that can do it. You know, if you think back to a time where you were going through a really difficult, situation emotionally, and it's hard to talk to your family, it's hard to talk to your friends. We don't always have that one person in our life that, gives us that like unconditional love without the judgment. They're not doing it on purpose a lot of times. It's because they care about us. Your parents care about you, your brothers and sisters care about you, the rest of your family, your friends. They want what's best for you. And sometimes we forget, instead of letting that person express themselves and kind of really say how they're feeling, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, when I had this happen, I did this. And here's the deal. What works for you isn't going to work for everyone else. What that person really needs is a space to say how they're feeling without someone making them feel bad about it, If you think about it, and you want to know how to do it, it's kind of more like, like a counselor or a therapist, where you go in and you talk to them, and, you don't know a whole lot about their personal life most of the time. They don't sit there and tell you you're wrong, or that you're stupid, or that that was a bad decision, or you need to suck it up and get over it, or just like, life's hard sometimes. These are not the things they tell you. They sit, they give you space, they let you express yourself, and then they might give you some tools and things that are helpful to fix it. Now, if you're doing this on your own for somebody and you are not a licensed therapist, you might not want to sit there and give them licensed therapist advice if you don't know what you're doing. If you have something helpful to offer that's a tool or something like that, that's fine. But, you don't be like, you should do this. You should be like, I've heard that this is really good for what you're going through if that feels good to you. Right? Because it's a very neutral way. You're not pushing anything on anybody, but you're also trying to help while listening to them at the same time, right? Because I think that's one of the hardest things. We see somebody in pain, especially someone we care about, and we want to fix it. And that's kind of another thing I want to talk about too, is sometimes it's not your problem to fix. And it's really, really hard to take a step back and watch somebody fall on their face because that's what they need more than they need your advice. That's the way that they need to learn the lesson. That's their path. You can still love them and be there, but sometimes you have to let everybody, rise or fall by their own choices and their own decisions. So that's sort of what it is if you're kind of holding space for somebody. It's very easy. It's very simple. And if you think you can do it, I think there's a lot of people out there that really could genuinely use that. It's something I have to do a lot, in my practice. There have been readings that I've done for people on occasion. It's not a regular occurrence, but it has happened enough times before that it's not an odd incident for me. I will just put my cards down because sometimes somebody just needs to talk and to feel heard and to feel understood, and like nothing's wrong with them. It's just, what they're going through. It's just what they're going through, and they don't need the cards. They just need someone to listen. And so that's a really important skill. And if you have it to offer, I really highly suggest that you offer it to people if they need it. Now, don't go out and yank people in that don't want to talk. But, if you see somebody hurting or going through a hard time, you can approach them and hold that space for them. The other last thing before I go to, I will tell you, don't share their stuff with anybody else. It's nobody else's business. If somebody shares something like that with you and you're holding space, it stays in the space. It's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So don't take it anywhere else, because you want that person to feel safe with you. And, if they wanted to share with everybody, they would. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope that was interesting. I hope it was helpful. And until next time, thank you so much for watching and have an absolutely beautiful day.